Hey babe, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Treasure, your new favorite mental health girly. Welcome babe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos. This is going to be a 4-part mini series of things that I think is so important for you to know and understand and learn and work through once you are coming out of depression. I have been not depressed for 8 months, and I have just been trying to jump back into my old life and trying to get back to the version of myself that I used to be, but better. I didn't realize until about a couple weeks ago that that is absolutely impossible. Life after depression is something that is so different from the life that you were in before being depressed, and almost no aspect of you is the same. So trying to jump back into that life is so unrealistic. Really having to understand that this is a new version of yourself and you're going to have to start over from scratch. But with that being said, I realized that I needed to do a little mini series about life after depression and the process that you actually need to take so you understand that there are no shortcuts to this journey. You have to go through the process and actually relearn yourself. This is a guide that I wish that I had while I was coming out that would have helped with my confusion and just lack of understanding about the emotions that I was feeling and the process that actually you have to take when you're coming out of depression. Because believe it or not, just because you're not depressed does not mean that your life just snaps back into place to what it was before being depressed. Let's just get right into it. This is episode 1 where we are going to focus on mindset. So I feel like it is so important to first understand that while you were depressed, you were set in a negative mindset. And so it's going to be a little bit hard for you in the beginning to shift your mind to thinking positive. That is normal and it is okay. It's not going to happen overnight because it's not an overnight process. You are having to not only train your brain to not think negative, but you're having to retrain it to be in a positive light. With that takes time, but we are looking for small steps forward. We are not looking for anything drastic because we need to be realistic about what this process entails. After depression, it is so common for you to have a cloudy mindset and think negative. It's just what it is. I know for me, I have struggled with trying to focus on just being positive and not focus on all the things that are wrong or not happening quick enough based off of my own personal timeline. But as I have said before, depression is not a linear experience. It is a roller coaster of emotions. And while I am not depressed anymore, I have to remind myself that I was depressed for 5 years. So coming out of depression, I am not going to think and be positive and optimistic about every single thing that I do. It is actually unrealistic to think that I am going to naturally think positive about anything. We have to put in the work for us to think positive because what's going to come natural is for us to be thinking negatively. First, we need to identify negative thought patterns because this is something that's going to be common. It's going to happen throughout the day, every single day. And being able to keep track and keep a record of the things that you are negatively thinking is going to help you start to think positive and kind of shift your mindset a little. For example, if you are having a constant thought of not being good enough, I want you to write it down. When you write it down and be able to see it on paper, you can then challenge yourself to think, why do I feel this emotion? Is there something that gives me reassurance that this is true? Or is this just something that I'm thinking because I'm stuck in a negative mindset loop? More often than not, you are going to come to find that the amount of negative thoughts that you think about yourself are not true. They're not backed up by evidence. There's not anything that really points to the fact that these negative thoughts are something that are actually happening, and you'll be able to use that as fuel for yourself to know and be able to tell yourself, this is a negative thought, it's not true, how can I shift this thought to be positive? To go with this process, I want you to also start to practice gratitude. Writing things that are positive down, even the smallest things can help. Doing this when you first wake up in the morning and making it a ritual, a routine, where you are creating a space where it is an environment that you look forward to every morning is going to help you to start to think positively. If it's something where you are grateful that you woke up this morning, you are grateful for the cup of coffee or the cup of tea that you are drinking, you are grateful because maybe you have exciting plans for that day. Whatever it is, making sure that you are writing down at least 3 positive things when you first wake up in the morning is going to start training your brain to start the day off with positivity and not allow any negative thoughts in the beginning of your day. Because when we start our day with positive thoughts, it's more inclined to be a positive day. But if we allow the negative thoughts to come into our brain the moment we wake up, it's more often than not we're gonna have a bad day because we've already started the day with a negative mindset. And it's very possible that every single day you're not going to be able to start the day off with positivity because, again, you are trying to retrain your brain to be positive and not negative, which is what it's used to. So remember to be patient with yourself and just go with the process. And when you are having those negative thoughts, to write them down and making sure that we are challenging ourselves and understanding why are we having that thought and almost immediately replacing it with a negative one. Next, we also want to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with positivity. When you are surrounded by negativity, you can't expect positive things to happen to you. You want to make sure that the people, the environment that you have is positive. Because it's going to be hard for you to speak life into yourself, you want to have people around you that are going to speak life into you. If you have people around you that are always being negative, always pointing out your flaws, never uplifting you or supporting you, that is going to feed into your already negative headspace. You need people that are going to point out your strengths, that are going to help you work through your weaknesses but not highlight them. And you want to make sure that you have people that are telling you whenever you have a negative thought, they are telling you the opposite of whatever it is that you're thinking. If you are telling yourself, I'm not good enough, you have a friend that is telling you, yes, you are. You are capable. Things that you want are attainable in your life. That is going to help you start to want to be positive towards yourself because you have the people around you that are feeding that life into you and the environment that you are in is positive. So it's not allowing any space for negativity. This is going to include the content that you consume. If you are on social media, you don't want to be looking at things that are negative. You want to be looking at positive content, things that are going to uplift you. If you're a reader, reading books that are going to uplift you and really creating a space that is going to bring you joy. So if that means that you have to rearrange your room, that's what you need to do, babe. If you need to go on nature walks, that's what you need to do. A change in environment of positive things is going to be essential to you learning to start to think positive and have it become a natural emotion rather than something that you are having to work at. Remember that this is going to take time. It is not going to happen overnight. Making sure that you're being patient with yourself and allowing yourself that time, space, and energy to be able to transition from being negative to positive is also going to be really important in this journey because nothing is going to happen overnight. Nothing is going to be a linear experience. You are going to have ups and downs. Every day is not going to be a good day. Every day is not going to be a bad day. And now that you are experiencing more good days than bad days, it can be really tricky for you to think that your bad days mean that you are still depressed. That is not what it means. It simply just means that that is what your brain is used to. That's its now comfort zone. And so you're going to have to force yourself out of that mindset, out of that headspace into a more positive one, which is going to take work. But if you put the work in, you are going to see a drastic change in your mindset. And that is the first step that you need to take in this life after depression journey, because without a good mindset, you are not going to be able to accomplish any other goals. That is the end of this episode. I hope to see you in episode 2 where we are talking about healthy habits. But if this video helped you, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Love you, babe.